Hi, everyone. I wanted to just go over this assignment. I'll go over it in class, but I figure if you have this recording, it's going to help you. This assignment is called Changing Social Hierarchies from 1450 to 1750. Many social hierarchies changed during the Age of Exploration and the fact that land-based empires, particularly in Europe, were engaged in exploration, which ended up changing social hierarchies. What we mean by this, it's the process by which societies group their members and the norms that govern the interactions between these groups and between individuals and how they influence political, economic, and cultural institutions and organization. So your goal as a student will be to explain how social categories, roles, and practices have been maintained or have changed over time. So here I've created this chart. You have your three different groups here: social categories, social roles, social practices. How are they maintained and how have they changed? Beneath the chart, you will see there are a list of illustrative examples of maintenance and changing of social categories, roles, and practices between 1450 and 1750. Your job is going to be to decide where each of the examples fit. So technically, you have 7 of them altogether: 1, 2, 3, 4. 5A would be 5, 5B would be 6, 5C would be 7. 7 altogether. When you look at these, you're going to see that there's a link for you to further explore each of the 7. Once you read the link and learn more about these 7 items, you're going to decide, is this an example of a category? Is it an example of a role? Or is it an example of a practice? Once you have made that decision, let's say number 1 you decide is a practice, you're simply going to put the number 1 there, and then put 1 here and 1 here, and you're going to explain, how did this practice, how was it maintained, how long did it last, and why? And then, did this practice also change over time? And again, I'm not saying number 1 is a practice. I'm just giving you it as an example of what you are supposed to do. So here is where you would end up typing how it maintained, and here you would type how it changed. You don't have to type anything in here except the number, because this way you're identifying that you decided that this example is an example of a practice as opposed to a role or a category. So, depending on the state, there were 2 responses or adopted practices when it came to their far-flung empires. One was accommodation, where states accepted the ethnic and religious diversity of their subjects to utilize economic, political, and military contributions of different ethnic and religious groups. We've seen this already when we talked about empires such as the Mughal in India and the Ottoman based in Turkey. In other cases, states practiced suppression, where diversity was not celebrated and certain groups' roles in society, politics, and the economy were limited. And you will see that particularly is the case with Jewish populations in various areas. So I think that's enough of an explanation. Again, I will go over this in class as well, but in case you need to look again, I've decided to create this screencast to help you out.